Hello, Isaiah. How are you? How has the day been?
Hi, hello, God. My day has been good. Thank you for asking. What about you?
My day has been good as well. We've been with you. People know you in this podcast. But today we are joined by Lucy. She's my wife. She's a new guest in the show. And I thought there is a good thing that comes with three people. It's better than two. I think so. Yeah. So, uh, what have you done today that maybe has made your life better or has changed someone's life?
Today, what I've done may be different. Today, I was just resting. It was a Saturday. Not it's already on a Sunday already because it's on third. I was resting, just preparing my schedule for next week.
That's nice. How about your week? How was it? What was the different thing you did?
For this week, I can say I've just been relaxing. I've not done anything better than the other week, but I was just planning towards the other week because I'll be having a lot of projects. There's an app I'm designing. It will really be a tough week. So I really needed the rest before when embarking on the task.
Okay, yeah. So, Lucy, I understand this is your first day on the show. For those who do not know, Lucy is my wife, a very wonderful person. She's a very knowledgeable woman who I thought by sharing her views on this podcast, she will be very valuable and her information will be very important. So, Lucy, I give you some time to introduce yourself. Tell us how was your week? What have you been up to today? You just introduce yourself. Feel free to tell us as much as you can.
It's
It's
okay.
okay.
Thank
Thank
you.
you for that title and for that introduction. My week has been busy because I've been working since Monday, and probably, yeah, I'll be taking my off tomorrow until next week. So tomorrow I'm planning to take the kids out because they have closed the school, and I felt like it's good day for us to bond and to have time together because I'm always at work. I'm looking forward for this podcast because it's something we've been longing to do, and the fact that you guys started, I think last week with Isaiah, it is a good start, and I'm ready and willing to join you guys in uploading the videos. Hopefully, I heard from you guys we're gonna be doing videos, 2 videos a week, which that's a good start. So that as we progress, we're gonna increase the days. And to our viewers, all I want to ask you is to guys, please remember to watch the video to the end, share the video with your friends, tell a friend to tell a friend. Then if you have a conversation, you can drop in the conversation down below. Let's have a conversation. Let's know what's your opinion or what's your idea that you'll want us to talk about. Thank you.
That's a very brilliant introduction. Thank you very much for your introduction. And we are very glad to have you here. I'm very glad, particularly. I hope this will be a very wonderful journey. I hope we shall laugh together. The last episode was very nice. We had a very good time with Isaiah. We laughed a lot. There was a specific conversation about giants, which was quite interesting. Yeah, and
Intriguing.
yeah, quite intriguing and quite fascinating. I think we shall expound on that. We shall add more videos on that, like the genesis of giants, where they came from. And
And
if
the
you're
myths
out
and
there,
what's the
yeah, and if you're out there, you have viewed our videos and you want to check them out, find us on YouTube, find us on TikTok and Facebook as well. The full videos are posted on Facebook and YouTube, of course. The channel is called the World View Podcast underscore God. The World View Podcast underscore God. So you will have done us a very great favor to subscribe, follow, and share. We want to build a community that will impact people's life. So today, my day has been nice. I had a very wonderful week. I've been trying to improve my routine. I want to sleep less and I want to sleep enough. Let me say sleep enough. And I want to also
It should be.
have some projects to work on. I want to improve my schedules the most. That's the most thing I'm working about. So that's how my week has been. And my day has been wonderful with the kids. And it's just a joy to be around family. So today I wanted us to discuss about masturbation. This is a topic that is affecting the whole world in the modern era. Some people in the internet talk much about it, they defend it. So today we just want to talk about it generally as the same people who go through the internet, the same people who interact with such content. And for the beginning, I want us to start by defining masturbation. So we shall start with you, Isaiah. What do you think masturbation is?
For me, I think masturbation, first of all, is a topic that has been there for long. It's for some, the way they define it's a taboo, but I'm here to dissect it so that we can really understand it from my point of view. For me, masturbation is simply an act of self-satisfaction. A person engaging in sexual satisfaction without another partner so that they can have sexual orgasm. The main issue here is now sexual now to have orgasm. That's the end goal of the activity. The person a person engaging in that activity mainly engages so that they can have orgasm. Uh, Orgasm is now that the feeling good factor that a person has after having sex. That's what I understand by orgasm. Now, for a person to experience orgasm, like for a man, you have to ejaculate and have sexual intercourse with a lady. But now for masturbation, it's when a person just, for instance, a man engages in such an activity, but without a lady, they can induce an activity to reach the end point. Now that's the orgasm. Yes, orgasm is the feeling good factor after sex. The way now maybe the body relaxes after sex and how the person now feels. Well, now it's like the reward. Yeah.
Lucy, how can you define masturbation?
So, to
So
my
to my
understanding,
understanding,
uh,
I'll say masturbation is a way of, okay. To my understanding, masturbation is a way of making yourself get an orgasm without a partner.
Yeah, so it's just one and the same thing.
yeah.
Okay. So I believe that's the definition of masturbation for all of us. That's exactly what I think as well. It's an act where people try to satisfy their sexual desires, but not through actual sex, but through their own methods. I think that's the best way to put it. So the next big question that we want to talk about is what actually causes problem masturbation? Like we want to first of all talk about problem masturbation because we wouldn't be doing this video if there was no problem masturbation. I believe in the current world, people are engaging in problem masturbation or addictive masturbation. So we want to first start by talking about the causes of problem masturbation. So we shall start with you, Lucy. What do you think are the causes of problem masturbation?
So me, I feel like the causes of masturbation, it starts when someone is trying, from the definition, someone is trying to get orgasm without a partner. So I'll say it first starts with the being addicted to sex, because that's when you get to know what is an orgasm. So when you're doing masturbation, you're looking for that orgasm that you felt during sex. So I'll say it's being addicted to sex, or being addicted to pornography, or being addicted to sex toys. So with that, and being addicted to, with that being an everyday activity, it leads to being addicted. So that's when we call it problem masturbation.
Okay, so you mean it starts by first engaging in the act,
Yeah,
any form of sexual act like sexual addiction, first of all.
Yeah, it
yeah, it
starts
starts
from that.
from that.
Yeah, and also you mentioned as well pornography. So all that comes together and you become addicted to masturbation, right? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Isaiah? What do you think is the cause of problem masturbation?
I think now the problem of masturbation is first
Yeah.
of all, as Lucy have said, as Lucy has shared, now lack of lack of getting sex. Now, if a person fails to get sex from the place the sex was being served or accessed, now they come up with active ways of now having sex without now a person. Now that's the primary factor. But scientifically or psychologically, what causes masturbation is now after being used getting used to the feeling good factor, now the dopamine factor, which is released in the brain in the mesolimbic pathway. Now the person gets used to that idea now, and that one affects the person, so the person gets used to masturbating. And then the second part is now when the person is used to in a certain environment. Maybe if for instance the person goes to the bedroom, the person is activated sexually and the person does not have a partner, or if you are visiting maybe a digital site like in the X space, when you see maybe there are some types of some figurative ladies nyash there, a person is starts feeling the feeling it activates the idea that he needs to have sex, but now without a partner. Now that's where the problem begins. I think that those are some of the factors that cause masturbation. Not to say that.
Okay.
Could you please? Yeah, okay.
You are saying what also is leads to the addiction.
It leads to the addiction. Lack of. Yeah, it starts with the desires.
Yeah. So according to me, what causes the addiction? Basically, one of the things. So what I mean is start by sex, and then say wanting, then when it's not like one feeling when your partner is not around and you want the orgasm, you will find yourself wanting to have the sex, and that leads you to now trying to satisfy yourself. So what I mean is you start by being addicted to sex, then you get addicted to, let's say, pornography. Most of us are introduced to pornography. I think we shall talk about pornography in a different video. So most of us are mostly introduced by someone. It's not easy for you to come across such videos that are censored. So most times our girlfriends or partners introduce us to pornography in some way, or our friends. So some people, while they are engaging in sex, they call it spicing it up. So through spicing up, what they do is they kind of say, let's watch pornography and spice up our sexual life. Then through watching pornography, most pornographies also have this masturbation stuff. And from the pornography, you learn how to masturbate. Then you know, if I do this, I will feel the same orgasm. And that's why I think most people get addicted to masturbation. So all these things are intertwined. You are addicted to sex and pornography. And then now all of them, they lead you to masturbation. When you are alone, you want the orgasm, but there's no female, or your partner is not around to satisfy your sexual desires. So you end up being addicted to masturbation in such a way. And once you try it, it's like a bad behavior. Like when you steal something, you become a thief. To become a thief, when you steal the first time successfully, be rest assured you will steal again and again, because the feeling of being successful and acquiring people's things really will motivate you to keep acquiring them for free. And funny things, all these things that we do that are evil, we hide. We do it while hiding. So that's my thought about addiction. It's something that is interconnected with pornography and sexual addiction. Yes. So the next thing that I wanted us to, or do you have something else to add on that, Isaiah or Lucy?
I think something to add on that, maybe some even just engage in some may start masturbating even before having sex in real life,
Yeah.
because it stems from imagination. Yeah, it's maybe what you have shared on pornography is what now feeds their mind. They feed from that.
Okay. By the way, when we were defining masturbation, there's something I think we forgot. I think when masturbating, most people have an image of a woman or of a sexual
Or a
partner.
man, whatever.
Yeah, or any sexual partner that you have. You have an image of them in your mind before you start masturbating.
Yeah, it cannot actually happen in oblivion. You have to have the image first, so that's the catalyst, I think, for them.
Yeah. So again, another thing is people who masturbate mostly, they are always in some way introduced to it in some form. There is no way you will know about it unless you have seen it or you have been introduced to it. So the
Yeah.
next thing we want to talk about is most people, when they hear masturbation, they think of it as men are the only ones involved in masturbation. So I would like to start with you, Lucy. Are women also addicted to masturbation?
Yeah, from the research and the books we've read, we can see that, yes, some percentage of women are affected with masturbation. And this happen in a way that, let's say, okay, my understanding of masturbation is from Isaiah's point where he said some might be masturbating not because they once had sex, but because of the image or what it's in their mind, what they are fed in their mind. So yeah, women masturbate, and the stories I've had is whereby, let's say, couples introduce the sex toys in their marriage, and now during the day, let's say one spouse is not there, the other one, most of the lady from the stories, tend to satisfy themselves using the toys. And then back then in high school, I could hear stories whereby girls used to masturbate with the test tubes, carrot, banana, courgette, and cucumber. Those plants or those objects that looks like a penis. Yeah, so ladies masturbate as well. Hope I've answered your question. Okay, to be precise, in the high school I went. Isa, you can hear me?
Yeah, loudly. I can hear you clearly, very
Okay,
clear.
thank you. To be precise, the high school I went, I have never encountered such a story. But you know that is high school, so the colleagues, sorry, my classmates, one of my classmates went to a different school, so she's the one who shared to me the experience of the school she went to. So this is what happened. A test tube that we used to as an can I say what we used to call those the laboratory equipments. Yeah, so the
Apparatus.
test tube. What we do is apparatus.
Apparatus.
Yeah, apparatus. Thank you. So yeah, it was found in a lady's toilet. It was already inside the condom. So that clearly tells you that someone was satisfying herself with it. Then later on, as the investigation was ongoing, they found some banana, that's the unripe banana, and a cucumber. So it was clearly confirmed that someone was satisfying herself using those objects. That's how far I've come across the masturbation story.
Wow, that's quite interesting because whatever you just said is quite shocking in some way. It's unimaginable for some people. How would you get to such a level where you will use anything to get the sexual satisfaction? You see?
Mm.
But most people out here do this thing. Most young people, especially out there, they are doing this thing in the name of they don't need men, and others in the name of they don't need ladies, and or they don't need partners. Just let me say so basically. So it's quite shocking oh, to have such occasions. Like when you find a banana with a condom, the first thing you will think is how? What was this person doing? What was she thinking? You see? And thank you for mentioning that because I have remembered a situation in my life when I was working in a certain school as well. And I was working as a janitor in this place or a cleaner. And the funny thing is, when I was clearing the dustbins, unfortunately, I met a banana with a condom, a ripe banana that is to say, and I was shocked. How come? How will someone get to this level? This is a level of sexual addiction that I don't think is reversible. Like, unless you change your mind, I don't think you can get you can get back to your normal state of being. So, Isaiah, we were talking about women masturbation. That was my experience with women masturbation. I just met a banana and a condom. So, have you come across a woman or a lady or a girl who has engaged in masturbation, or have you seen one?
Not seen one. I just had one. There's a guy who used to tell us some illicit stories that were exact stories like those. He used to share that maybe a girl using the fingers to satisfy herself. Nah, I don't think it's much from that.
Okay, let's go back to men. So, have you come across a man masturbating, or have you yourself been in the act of masturbation? Isaiah?
Personally, I've never
Yeah.
engaged in such an act, but I've ever witnessed it when I was still in primary school back in class 8. Uh, one of my classmates, and he was my desk mate by then, was actually masturbating in the bathroom. You know, we used to bathe in an open bathroom back then. It was not it was not a crime for men to have a bath together. You know, some
Yes, I
might
remember
caution
that
that.
thing. Yeah, in most boys' schools, especially in Kenya or in Africa, let me say, the bathrooms are like holes. They don't have doors. They don't have nothing. I don't know why they do that, but you have no privacy at all when you're taking a shower.
I think it's for their own safety.
Yeah.
You can wonder if a person can masturbate in such a place. What if it's closed? They can even start practicing sodomy. It's really dangerous if it's it's a closed bathroom. Just imagine a person gets you when you're about to pick your soap and he's behind you. What will you do? It's very
He can
dangerous.
he can enter any hole.
I can't imagine.
You
Hey,
know,
God forgive.
high schools in Africa are just like, let's say, prisons. I think some prisons
Yeah,
also they are like that. They don't have doors in the showers, and it's quite interesting,
it's
I think.
it's like in the prison where Schofield was the second prison in Sona. High schools
Yeah,
are similar to that.
for those who have
Nobody
watched Prison
inspects
Break.
the boys'
Yeah,
prison break. There, when Schofield was in Sona, where they would have if you wanted to challenge a person to death, you give them the leg of a hen. I
yeah,
think that scenario is the same in what boys experience in boarding schools. Nothing
yeah.
less, nothing around.
So coming back to the topic, you are saying he was masturbating live in a bathroom.
Yeah,
Tell us more.
yeah.
What was he doing? What happened?
I think let me see if I can get my marker pen. You see, he was he held his penis. Maybe I don't. He was. I don't. So I don't know if it was a lefty or righty, but he used one hand and applied. He was using the bathing soap so that to lubricate it. So for me, when I arrived there, I was just seeing him. He was feeling good now. He was ejaculating now. And then I wondered. I asked him, man, what are you doing? And he told me, you don't understand. My body needs this thing. For me, later on I reflect later on, I thought maybe he was doing maybe something good, but at the expense of what?
All
Because
right.
now I was looking at him as a leader, but now I'm finding my leader losing, no, out of control. Uh,
Yeah.
it
And more to
really,
add,
it was really but
yeah, keep
pardon.
on, keep on.
It's not a scenario or a situation that you might want to find yourself in. It's really embarrassing.
Yeah, but at
Having to
that
see a
moment,
person. Yes.
at that moment, did you think it's embarrassing? Did you know what was happening, or did you notice about it? Did you realize later?
For me, you see, I was lucky enough. Back at home, we were almost 10 boys. But although I was just hearing stories now what people used to do in different boarding schools. So it was not a new thing, but I had never experienced it. There's a difference between a theory and now now this is a fact. It's now a real situation. Ground
Yeah,
now. Hapa ni grao. You just
Mm.
find
Yeah.
a person, your best friend, now doing the act. I never judged him then because I was still young. I never knew what. For me, since I was young, I never judged something that I do not understand. For me, I just thought maybe it's a practice. Maybe when you reach that age, it's what people in that age do.
Mhm.
Oh,
Because you are
because you are
naive.
naive.
Maybe we were young, but he was a bit older, maybe by 3 years or so.
okay, and that's an interesting story. What effect do you think it had on you? Did you find yourself wanting to masturbate, or did you find yourself masturbating at some point in your life?
Yeah, at some point that situation really affected me because at some point I kept on thinking I can also do that maybe if I don't want girls. It's a thing that I wanted to explore at some point in life. It's I don't know even why I did not practice it, but I really thought about it when I was still in form 3. when we were busy focused on deep in the books, perusing books, I was focused. I wanted to pass my exams, and by then now the body was now reacting, and puberty was in. You started
Yeah.
noticing girls. Some guys now, when you come back to school, they are telling you, hey, I had sex with this and this. Hey, you say, man, what about me? What is happening? Guys,
Where did I go
what is
wrong?
happening? When did I go wrong? But by then, I was clever enough to realize that if you engage in sex, you not only get a girl pregnant, but you can also be infected with HIV/AIDS or STDs.
Mm.
You see, being raised with many boys is also a privilege, because I got to witness some of my cousins who contacted STDs. So it was at some point I really wanted to practice masturbation.
Okay, it's good that maybe you did not do it. Maybe you will have been a gone case as of now. Yeah. So, Lucy, what about you? Have you been in the situation of masturbation? Have you tried it in some way in your life?
No, I've never tried it. First thing, I feel like masturbation should be treated as a mental disorder. Sorry to put it that way. Because I feel like the effects too much. It's more than the good. So and then from the story I've heard, it's how bad it is. So I don't really, and I've never really wanted to experience it myself. I'm those people who learn from other people's mistakes. So yeah, I've never encountered myself.
What's the worst thing you've heard about
Uh,
it? What's the worst thing you've heard about it? Because I've heard, you just said you've heard from people about how bad
yeah.
it is.
Like there's a movie I was watching long ago, I can't really tell. But there's this main character who was addicted to masturbation. So anytime he was at work, he could sneak to go and do masturbation. And at the end, he ended up being fired, and he was the breadwinner. And the mom was sick at the hospital with cancer. So he was not able to provide for the mom and at the same time the family. So he's the one who, I'll say, he costs them a lot. You get what I'm saying? So that's one story. And then secondly, when we were in high school, there's these things we used to call funky. It's like you go to another school for music, drama, and science conference. And so I had a rumor that there was a lady who was trying masturbation with a test tube, and unfortunately it broke when it was inside her V.
So that's a sad thing. So did you hear more about her story? What happened after?
No, really.
It's
It's
just
just
that
that the lady was found.
it
It
was
was
during
during
prep
prep
time and they
time.
were
They were
supposed to
supposed
go
to
for
go
the
for the prep, but she did not report in the class. So, the way we used to take records. So they had to track to find where she was, and she was found on bed laying, and she was bleeding. So I hope they had rushed her to the hospital to remove the pieces. But that's how bad it tells you masturbation addiction can lead someone to. Because there's a period, I think 2014, you could see there's a socialite who came out in Kenya, and she was being carried away with the waves and the pressure. And there's a time she went live on a camera and she used the remote to satisfy herself.
Yeah, I remember her name is Shakila.
Don't have to mention that.
Yeah, she has the videos are out there in the internet,
Okay.
so there's no problem mentioning her name.
Oh, that's how bad masturbation can be. So with all those stories surrounding it, I don't really have to experience it on myself.
Okay, I can just imagine that situation where, let's say, not even a test tube. Let's say a carrot breaks into your. Maybe you did not use a condom. Then the carrot breaks into your vagina. Then you have to go to hospital and they have to remove it.
It's
It's
embarrassing.
embarrassing.
Yeah, I don't know where it goes, of course, but imagine you go to a hospital just to be removed a carrot from your vagina. What kind of embarrassment is that?
Is
Yeah, so you can.
There's also pain associated with that. They'll have to
Yeah,
insert spatulas inside the cervix so that they can at least get back the carrot.
yeah.
Hmm.
So this means this addiction is very serious, because if people can go to the extent where they risk it all just to have this satisfaction, it means it is a problem that must be addressed, because people address alcohol addiction. Recently, they have started addressing gambling addiction, but medics have not quite been very serious, or scientists have not been quite serious in finding a research about masturbation and trying as much as possible to categorize it as an illness, if you know what I mean. So it's something that they should take into consideration and they should treat. Yeah. All right. In the next question that I wanted us to address is, we've talked about the definition and we've talked about the causes. Now we want to know about the effects. Do you think this masturbation has positive and negative effects, or are they just negative? What is your thought about this? I will start with you, Isaiah. What do you think? Does it have any positives, and what are its negatives if you have some of them?
I think the positives, the sum of the positives are they'll just go with the biological functions that they come with. Now, like for instance, one of the pros is after if the person engaging in masturbation would get the orgasm. You see, now orgasm comes with the feel good factor after it enables the body to maybe release the endorphins, the endorphin hormones. Now the feel good factor. You see, now stress reliever. That's one of the advantages. Relieving stress. The second advantage, maybe for those who are maybe they don't have access to partners, their partners are far away. To men, it really prevents prostate cancer, because ejaculation is one of the ways that prevents prostate cancer. That's a second advantage. And then the third one, to if a partner, for those partners who are sexually active and they are addicted to sex, they cannot stay away, they cannot control themselves. It prevents them from getting STDs, because they just have to to have sexual intercourse with themselves, which is magic. You see, it prevents them from contracting STDs. Those are, I think, those are some of the. It's a vile activity, but it has some advantages, unfortunately, because you
So,
see the
first of
okay,
all,
pardon.
sorry to cut you short. When you talk about people who are preventing themselves from STIs, there are very many preventative measures. There is condoms, there is contraceptives, and also there is abstinence. Okay.
Mm,
Second of all, you talked about prostate cancer. This thing of this thing of ejaculating being a preventative measure is just a thought. It's not a scientific study that has proven it. It's just a suggestion or something. But actually, the main cause of prostate cancer is genetics, especially when your forefathers had it. And then the next thing is lack
okay.
of exercise. When you are inactive, you are getting fat, a lot of fat in your body. It's another cause agent. And again, age factor. When you're 50 and above, the likelihood that you'll get prostate is very high. So most people who say prostate cancer is caused by abstinence, those are the people who just find something to blame on. Okay.
An escape zone.
Yeah, yeah. Everyone who is doing something bad always has an excuse, if you know what I mean.
Mm. Yeah, but regarding now, I agree with you regarding prostate cancer. But
Mhm.
on the other hand,
Mm-hmm.
uh, about STDs contraction. They cannot wearing condoms. Even if you wear condoms, when you are you wear a condom and then engage in a sexual activity, there is that now the connection you'll have with that person
Mm.
apart from even contacting the STDs. You see, it's your souls will now. There is some way. It's no, you can't just have sex and go. There is that now chemistry you will have with that person. You see, do you get there?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
now this guy who is masturbating, I'm not even. I'm not trying to defend them. This is just a. I'm just trying to think out loud. Ma, I see now. For those who are sexually active and cannot control themselves, it can actually it's something that they can. It's a bad activity, but maybe to some it can be better. And also there are some couples the long distance issue. It can help them manage their relationships, and some even it helps them to explore their bodies and they so that they can know their limits.
Isaiah,
Yes.
I see
I
where
see
you're
where you're
coming
coming
from.
from.
As
As
much as I
much as I
don't
don't
second your
second your
point in
point in
any
any
way,
way,
Yes.
I
there
think
is
Isaiah has had many stories.
no,
no,
there's this
there's
one
this
that
one
is
that is
trending
trending
nowadays. You
nowadays.
see
You see
TikTok?
TikTok, people as I've make masturbation to be like a source of income whereby let's say someone is in Italy and you're in Kenya, so a lady goes live and the other man goes live, then they do it live and then
Kunyonga,
you get
yeah. There
paid.
are some who are
Yeah.
engaging. Mm.
So that one I
But
can include
for
in your point.
in this scenario, I'm talking about now married couples now who like these vile activities. There are some people who practice these activities seriously, and it has it has helped their marriages. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know how, but yeah, these are the mysteries of life. Hey,
There's a video I came across.
Christian.
So basically, you're telling me this is one, these are one of the people when you marry that who are the slow, they come and convince you or you are destroyed. They come and convince you to slow more when you end up with the
You'll end up exploring your body. Hey, for me, I'm an open-minded person, but I cannot just go and take a veteran from war and start living. In this life, it's not about rehabilitation. Just take the best thing
Mm-hmm.
that is in the market. You are in the market. Why go for a thing that you'll not be interested? In this life, it's not about really. It's not about you know, after some period, now we are youths. You, Sexual activities, it's the main thing that maybe the youths bond with. But as time goes by, personality comes in. What are you bringing
Mm-hmm.
apart from sex? You see,
Yeah,
you
sure.
cannot just stay with a person because of sexual activity, the different sexual experiences that you enjoy with them. For me, it's all about it. Staying with my partner, it's about the experience I want to get. I want maybe it's a person we share the dreams. Maybe for me, I like traveling a lot. I don't like staying in one place for long. I like a person. If I get such a partner, we are okay. But it's not about sex. Many people get it wrong when it comes to marriages. It's not just about sex.
what are the negatives that you think you just mentioned the topic? What are the negatives?
Oh, for a moment, even I had forgotten the negatives. Ah, for masturbation has many negatives, you see. But the you see, for us in Africa, mostly we use the classifications that have been using the World Health Organization. It has not yet classified masturbation as actually a disorder. But if you engage in it, now here's the catch. I even wonder. They say now, if you engage in masturbation for long, and it becomes an issue in that it impairs your functions. You cannot function properly. They say now it's a disorder. You see, it becomes a compulsive sexual behavior disorder. So first of all, masturbation has many negative effects. The
Yeah, it
impairment,
has.
function impairment. Yeah, you can see now for a man there are some men who cannot erect unless they masturbate, or they cannot
Yeah.
engage in a sexual activity with a woman unless they masturbate. And there are those, maybe they are just walking. You see, I lack a word to better describe this. I don't know if it's wet or what. In quotes, let me put that in quotes. Maybe the person can even ejaculate on the road while walking due to lack of control, because
Yeah, sure.
it's sure. Now that's among the one of the disadvantages of this act. If it becomes now compulsive, second, it leads to low self-esteem to some. Imagine you're just if a person now gets you maybe masturbating, you see,
Yeah,
it
it's
Yeah, it's
becomes
bad.
bad.
you might never walk outside there. For some people like me now, that will become banter for life. If I just see you around, I just say, "Ah, my guy." the You see the hunter, the monkey whatever, the guys who in Kenya we say kunyonga kima.
Mm-hmm.
Mm?
Yeah.
When men engage in masturbation. For me, just I can just see the guy. If I just find a person masturbating, I assure you, that person will never know peace when we meet. I must remind him so that he can change. Now, those are some of the disadvantages, you see. And
Mhm.
it also, getting used to such activities, apart from self-esteem, I think it will be really hard to sit with a partner to know when the partner knowingly knows that he or she can never satisfy you, maybe unless you
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
satisfy yourself. Now, what
Exactly.
will be the role of that person in that marriage? It becomes difficult for them to. Will the person know now? Will we be looking after our children, or will be trying to save you from yourself? And also, when it becomes an issue, it's expensive to treat. It is stigmatized, especially in our African homes. If we just say, maybe we are in a meeting, maybe they're sharing and they say, "Oh, your cousin has a problem." For us, maybe we might think, which problem? Is it financial? And they tell you it's masturbation. Say, man, that guy is a joke. Which type of problem is that?
So
We should not go around looking for problems.
actually, that's why I've said it's not taken as a serious thing, and that's one of the problems. There is not
Yeah,
much.
it's not.
Most people are not taking it seriously. There's no much studies about it. There's no much education about it. Parents out there even don't know that these are things. Maybe they know, but they don't consider it very serious. They don't want to talk to their kids or something. And you have
It's
mentioned
considered a
something.
modern problem.
Yeah, you've mentioned something very important there. You said stigmatization. And this is one of the reasons people don't come out with their masturbation stories. People
Yes.
just people think the things that they can see are the most addictive things. Like when you see someone playing video games all along the day, that's when you know he's addicted to it. Or when you see someone taking alcohol all times, staggering in the roads, that's when you think this guy is addicted. This masturbation addiction is like gambling addiction. You get what I mean?
Mhm.
It's something that is like a hidden addiction. So it's something that is stigmatized and it's hidden. And that's why it's a problem that has to be addressed. So according to you, Lucy, do you think there are negatives and positives in masturbation? What do you think?
The
The
only
only
positive
positive
that
that
I've
I've
heard
heard
of
of
is the
is
one
the
that
one that
Isaiah
Isaiah
said
said
about
about
prostate
prostate
cancer.
cancer.
Though I think that is just an escape zone. I
That has
don't have
debunked that
any
one.
positive about it, but the
The
negativity is a
negativity is a
lot.
lot.
Yeah, tell us some of them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll
I'll
just
just
second
second
Isaiah
Isaiah
what he
what he
made.
mentioned. First is the low self-esteem because of, you'll think, because I don't think anyone is proud doing that. I feel like it is how bad it has affected their mind that they can't control it. So if someone, or you fear people knowing, or people getting to know that you do masturbation, so that's how it leads to low self-esteem. Then secondly, it can also lead to losses of income or unemployment, because assuming you have been employed and you keep on going out, or you keep on dodging to just get a little time to do it, I think you're gonna get fired, because you get what I'm saying? Or sometimes you'll have to do it, let's say in the morning, and then you end up being late for work. So in some other way, it just makes you look a joker in your business, in your job space. Then thirdly, it also triggers the mind in by, for someone to get to a space where they can use a test tube or other sharp objects to satisfy their orgasm. That shows of how bad it has gotten to. And with this, it can really lead to mental health. So it's easy to lose the person on mental health, and then now starting doing with the depression and all sorts of mental diseases. Then thirdly, I think is stigmatization, because e.g. in Africa, it is something that is not accepted. So if the society finds out that you are doing masturbation, high chances is you're gonna be stigmatized, and that's how people don't come out clearly.
These are very good points. I think what you said is very important, Lucy. It's very insightful, especially when you say that there is stigmatization in it, and then you can lose your job because of engaging in it, and low self-esteem. I think all these points are intertwined in a way that when you masturbate, first of all, you do it in the dark. Very few people do it at limelight. You do it in the dark. When you do something in the dark, it means you know it's wrong. So basically, even when you're walking in front of people, you in your heart, you know you did something bad. So the low self-esteem makes you think people know. You see, it's like when you kill someone or you steal something, you walk in a guilty way, thinking everybody knows. So your self-esteem is dead, first of all. So they are intertwined because stigmatization also creates the low self-esteem, if you know what I mean. Yeah. So all these things are intertwined in a way that you will now be addicted. You focus on addiction instead of important things. And the same addiction makes you feel less of a man or less of a woman. So I think those are the negatives. And those are the same things I think
Yeah,
Yeah,
that I was thinking about. Yeah.
and
the one
the
that
one that
Isaiah
Isaiah
said
said
about
about
weight.
waiting during the day, it's one thing that I feel it's also very embarrassing, because people end up knowing in diapers, because I read somewhere that more so in men who are doing masturbation, when it gets to that worst point, they start randomly, they just start ejaculating. So it's so easy for people to know, and for you to hit this, you have to be in diapers.
It's true.
Yeah.
Let me support that.
Yeah.
I've even remembered there's an old man I remember once gone to visit my relative back there in Kitale. The neighbor, he was maybe 65, 70. The man was just wetting himself randomly because he was used to masturbating. And when you are growing older, it's really hard to to control yourself. I really pitied the guy, but it was a situation that now was already out of control. You see, so at some points you can start practicing it, but the effects are really detrimental,
Mm.
especially
Yeah.
when you are for us growing old.
Okay, I've not heard about that, about ejaculating randomly because of masturbation, to be honest. But I've heard that people who chew cat or mirror are the ones who are ejaculate randomly. I don't know.
Okay,
Okay,
to make it
to make it clear, it's in how I read it is, you see, e- having an orgasm or ejaculating when having a sex with your spouse, there's a way your body responds to it. But now this, it's your brain that is making you respond. So if you get used to it and it become an habit, the brain automatically just sense, and then you have no control
When
of
you
it.
just see an image,
Yeah, when you just see an image or you
yeah,
just imagine of it, and then
Yeah, now I get it. And I think another thing about these guys who are addicted to masturbation is anytime you see a lady who is your spec, even in the road, you want to rush, go hide somewhere. You don't have time for anything
yeah,
else once you spot this kind of person and you put the image in your head. You want to rush and do the act. That's the biggest problem about it. So I think those are just the advantages and disadvantages, but I didn't measure on advantages because I refuted some advantages that Isaiah said. I also don't have any advantages about it, but people who masturbate and defend it, I invite them in the comment section to tell us the advantages and to prove their advantages. I think you cannot prove something that we can refute. If it has a weakness, if your argument has a weakness, it means it's not a fact. So that's why I welcome the viewers and those guys who masturbate out there and they think it's right. I welcome them in the comment section so that they can enlighten us what it helps them with. I think the only advantage they enjoy is the orgasm. Other than that, I don't think there's any other advantage, in my own opinion.
stress reliever.
It's okay. So I think when you say stress reliever, I relate it to the energy you
Obviously,
release when you ejaculate. Men understand how it works. When you ejaculate, suddenly your body feels relaxed and you can just sleep. The dopamine levels go down, so there's no anxiousness, there's no stress in your body. So I think I relate what you're saying. But rather than masturbation, you could better off have just gone for a walk because exercises also reduce the dopamine and the energy. So there are different things you can do instead of masturbation, unless you are addicted to it. So
but how can an addict now he's in the room at night? The room triggers him.
yeah, yeah,
Now that's the
yeah. Even if you're in the room at night, it doesn't mean you cannot do something. You can do an exercise in the room. You can skip a rope. You can do push-ups or something.
not even
not
watch
even
a
watch a
movie.
movie.
Oh yeah, but movies, I don't think they reduce your anxiety. If you are
he
anxious,
can't.
unless you release the energy, it's difficult to cut it off. So
Yeah, you have to transmit
coming
the
to this
energy
point,
elsewhere.
I think we want to wind up this video, but I want you to just give a parting shot. I'll start with you, Lucy. Tell us what is your parting shot, and then we can see what we can do in the next episode.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So my
So my
parting
parting
shot will
shot will
be,
be,
as
as
you
you
said,
said,
the
the
negativity
negativity
it's more
it's
than
more
the
than the
advantage.
advantage.
So
So
I'll
I'll
urge
urge
people
people
out
out
there,
there,
don't wait
don't wait
until you
until you
run
run
from your
from
own
your own
experience.
experience.
All
All
learn
learn
from
from
people who
people
have
who have
come out
come out
clear
clear
and they've
and they've
shared their
shared their
worst
worst
experience
experience
about it.
about it.
Then
Then
secondly,
secondly, if you are
having the
masturbation
masturbation
addiction
addiction issue,
issue
and
and you're
you're trying
trying
to
to
come
come
out,
out,
please
please
find
find someone
someone
who
who
it's
you
you
feel
feel
comfortable
comfortable
to
to share with, share
share
with,
with,
or
or
start
start
to
to
do
do
counseling,
counseling.
because you don't have to wait until it becomes worse. That's when you're trying to come out. Then thirdly, if you know someone who has undergone this situation, let's not stigmatize them. Let's give them space to understand that it's an addiction like any other addiction, and the fact that they have come out clear and they're willing to change, it is already a plus. Then that, fourthly, to our viewers, kindly please let's hear your opinion about masturbation. Do you second masturbation as a thing that helps in marriages or in a relationship, or do you oppose it? Thirdly, thank you for God and Isaiah for availing yourself for this broadcast.
Thank you very much.
First of all, thank you, Lucy, for
Welcome.
accepting the invite. My parting shot is, even if now for those who are already addicts, or they have gone already, yani tunasema kwa Kiswahili washatoka kwa stendi, gari ishaenda, washatoka. I think there are some ways they can get help. First of all, they cognitive now therapy behavior, or CBT, that you challenge yourself and tell yourself, when I'm alone, I'm not going to touch that thing. Maybe for girls, the carrot, even they can just avoid going to the market at all if it triggers them. I don't know how for girls how it works, but for a boy, maybe for a man, if something triggers them, you just say, I'm no longer going to sit. I'm not going to practice it. The second thing, you can substitute the behavior with something else. Maybe, as God has said, you can start doing some exercises. I hope, God, that's not what has motivated you to start exercises. Yes, you start some push-ups, you see, and then you can also, if it's really deeply into you, you can tell a friend to also check on you. And there are also some apps which can help you now to track your behavior, so that you can change. Maybe, sometimes these behaviors they are just normal. Everybody has an addiction. It's not that
Yeah,
it's something out of mass. It's just a normal. It's not to you, to the person doing it, it's normal, but to me it's abnormal. That's all we are
yeah,
asking. If you can no longer control it, there are also psychologists. But now the bitter part about this, when it reaches that point, it's very expensive for psychologists to assist you, because they have to get a plan for you. They have to assess you. So maybe you can try the other strategies that I've shared. Uh, but so I've just finished that was my parting shot. But now to our viewers, I think this is a topic you can engage with your peers. Tell tell a person to tell a person. This is something that we should really delve into. It's not a
yeah, it's
joke.
creating
Our
awareness.
youths are our youths are suffering. You see now, everybody is saying, I don't need a partner, because now they know they are used to their hand. You see, in Kenya there are some men, you can find that their left hand is very strong than the other one. They are using it badly. But it's something maybe. Thank you for hosting us today, our host God. Back to you.
Thank you very much for the parting shots. They are very nice incitements. I would like to add that there are some people who think when they come out, it's a problem. And some people don't want to come out. But I would like to urge you, if you cannot come out, find a confident, someone who you can share anything with, and open up, and then you can find help maybe. Then you mentioned cognitive behavioral therapy. For those who do not understand,
Yeah.
this type of mental illness, I will call them that, or brain illness, let me say so, they are addictive. And if you want to know it's is an illness, you cannot stay even a day without doing it, or even an hour without doing it. So when you get to that point, you know it's a problem. If you have not started this behavior, you don't know where you get to, so do not try it. I would like also to add that if you come across people who do this, please remember to help them, offer support, encouragement to come out of that. And parents out there, be very keen with your kids, especially those at puberty and those who like private lives, especially those people who lock themselves in their rooms. If you have a kid, you are a parent, check on your kids, check on what things they have. Some people have even bought sex toys. So if you're a parent, check on your kids, know what they are doing. Otherwise, you won't know they are addicted to sex and they are addicted to masturbation at the same time and pornography. So I think this is a discussion that calls for more research and more conversation. I think this was a beautiful episode, but we shall expound on it. What I will tell our viewers is there's a big question that has been disturbing me that Isaiah mentioned in his advantages. He said some people would rather masturbate than cheat on their spouses for long distance relationships, that is. So I will post a question for you viewers. Would you rather masturbate or cheat on your wife? Respond on the comment sections and tell us what you think. On the next video, we shall discuss some of your comments and we shall try to know what you think. And I hope you had a good session with us. I hope to catch you in the next episode. Thank you very much, guys, and see you again.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.